Skip, if you think about it, he had a sensational year, but who got the MVP votes? CP3.
I mean, because of the turnaround.
Right, right. I think it's going to be, I say there's probably a 25% chance, Skip, because Giannis is always going to have these sensational numbers, and his team's going to win. Luka is always going to have gaudy number. Your guy, Joel Embiid, is going to be basically 28 and 12 with, playing sensational defense.
And making 85% of his free throws.
Nikola Jokic. We saw Steph finish second this year. With Klay back, he's going to be in the running again because I believe they'll finish with a better record. They finish with a better record. They get one of the top 3 seeds. He's going to be in the running. So for me, Skip, now on the other side, I think it's going to be very difficult for KD and Harden because they play together along with Kyrie. So I think they cut each other up and they take some of the votes from one another. So it's going to be very difficult for one of those guys to win the MVP. But Skip, I'm going to say there's a 25% chance because it's just hard when CP3 because they were like, well, CP3 is the reason why this thing worked. I do believe that Booker is their best player, but their most important player is CP3. I don't believe they're where they are because we saw what he did in game 1, and he's that calming effect, Skip. For what I mean, I think for the first time last night, Skip, I thought I saw him being bothered with that wrist on his left hand. He's not as fluid with handling the ball like he was before he took that spill. I think he took it in game 1. Now he comes out with the black tape on it because I think it's getting him a little bit of a problem, but he doesn't make excuses for that. And the Western Conference is just loaded at the guard position. You still got Dame, you still got Steph, you still got Book, Kawhi, Paul George. All these guys are in the Western Conference, Skip. So overall, I'm going to say there's a 25% chance that he does win an MVP at some point in time in his career.
Okay, Devin Booker is all of 24 years of age. He's ending his 6th season in this league. I believe in this kid's potential all-time greatness. I think we're seeing his potential being realized right before your very eyes.
Okay.
He made most of the key shots last night. The stop shots where he just broke Milwaukee's momentum. And I love what he's made of. They say he's an old soul, and he handles himself with maturity way beyond 24 years of age. He's so stable. He's so committed. He's so driven. He's got that clutch toughness that comes with an NBA playoff backbone that he was just born with. Maybe he got some of it from his father. And I told you, he's the opposite to me of Giannis in intangibles because I believe in these are bedrock intangibles that you can count on, depend on, and build on.
Well, Skip, you finally make the ball game. He's going to go to the free throw line and make his shot. That's the one thing. See, you see what they were doing with Giannis. He get close to the basket, they tie him up. We'll let you go 1 or 2.
So I got in a big battle in my days on the old network after Kentucky lost to Wisconsin in the national semifinal. It was Devin's year there with what was a team that went, what were they, 38-0
they were undefeated with Karl Anthony Towns and those guys.
And the Harrison twins. And they started over Devin Booker, who started 0 games that year. But every time he got to play his 15 or 20 minutes, that jump shot was as pure as you will ever see. So I got in a battle, should he be a lottery pick? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, somebody will steal him if they get him at the back end of the lottery, and he went 13th overall to Phoenix. And would you say that's a steal? I would say. So you could see the shot coming. You just couldn't see the impact because for whatever reason, and maybe Calipari would tell you now, maybe I missed that one. Maybe I should have given him a little more run. It's just difficult because you got the twins starting, and it's hard to break up the brothers, and and they were having such success during the year. It's hard to argue with that.
Skip, I think evaluating basketball players is harder than football players. Skip, ain't no guy gonna sit on the bench and go in the first round. I mean, the guy didn't start, and he went in the first. He went to the tail end of the lottery. And so how do we know? Like, you know what? I think if we give him some run, he gets 35, 40 minutes a night. He could be really good. How? When he doesn't start, he's averaging what? What do he average? 10, 11 points a game?
10.
And you think
10, 2 rebounds and 1 assist. And you say you're going to take him 13th overall. What are you thinking?
And he goes from averaging 2 points coming off the bench in Kentucky to averaging 25 and starting, and he's an all-star.
Okay, so my biggest issue with him so far has been he's not a very good three-point shooter. And this year he's 35% for his career, but this year he's only 34%, which ranked 136th of 156.
Right.
Well, LeBron was even a little better, and Trey was slightly, just a tick better. They were ranked 110th and 133rd. Right. Luka was a little bit better. So the point is, when we talked about him going into this series, I said, well, I got an issue with that because he's still 35% for the playoffs.
Right.
But what I love about him is he showed some range last night I didn't know he had from three, and I don't think he's exploited that yet.
Right.
And we always see the great ones. We see the Magics and the Michaels take an off season and say, okay, I'm going to do this. Yeah. I'm going to improve. I'm going to add this to my arsenal. Kobe, that's a good one because that's obviously his idol and mentor.
Right.
And again, he's riding on his shoes.
Right.
You know,
be legendary.
Be legendary, and he'll get nothing but better from three because I saw it last night. Those were big time. Right. NBA Finals.
Well, Skip, you remember the closeout game against the Lakers?
Yes, sir.
He went what, 8 or 9?
He did.
So
8 or 9. The bigger the moment, it seems like the hotter he gets and the deeper his threes get.
What I love about him, Skip, that he doesn't fall in love with it.
No, he doesn't.
He's still trying to get to the mid-range. Okay. He'll still try to get to the basket.
Thank you. So this year, from what I would call real mid-range, which is 10 feet to 14 feet, these are mid-range jump shots. He was second in the league to, guess who? Kevin Durant, who is the greatest mid-range shooter I've ever seen and the most unstoppable because he's 7 feet tall and shoots the ball like 8 feet above his head. Right. Well, you can't stop that. Book is 6'5", which is plenty tall enough. He's not Kobe 6'7". Right. Kobe had a couple of big inches on him.
But he does elevate. If you look at him, he's shooting a jump shot.
Jump shot. It is a true, pure jump shot.
Yes.
And it's as pretty and as perfect a jump shot as you will ever see.
Yes.
That's what I loved about him at Kentucky. So the point is that a lot of people are also missing the other part of his game. Do you realize in defensive win shares, he's now ranked 4th in the playoffs? He is improving dramatically and rapidly on defense. I will bet you next year he makes an all-defense team. I don't know if it'll be first, second, or third team, but he'll make an all-defensive team. So now we talk about MVP. Well, to get one, he's going to have to lead the league in scoring. Is that possible? So the last 3 years, he's been averaging around 26. Yeah. He's going to have to do 30-something.
Yeah, you have to be in the 30s now. That's where you need to lead the league, Okay,
let's go back to his idol and mentor, Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant. At age 29, Kobe Bryant finally broke through and won his first MVP. He averaged 28, 6, and 5. Well, that's not all that off. This year, Devin was 26, 4, and 4. So it's not that. Now, Kobe had a year in which his biggest year was 35.
Right.
So he's still going to have to take it up a notch, which he is highly capable of doing.
Right.
And if you can, in that year, Kobe made first team all defense, and don't tell me that didn't contribute to the package for MVP.
But I think the thing is, Skip, now is that you have more scorers, more guys that can just go get you buckets than what you had with Kobe. Because you got probably 10 guys, Skip, that can average 30 points a game.
Sure.
From KD to Harden to Dame to Steph Curry. So you look at Embiid, Giannis. So we've seen those guys. So we know they can just go get you 30. He's going to, like you said, he's going to have to average 30. He's going to have his team, and he already did it. I mean, they were the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. So he's going to have to be there, Skip. Yeah. But it's going to be tough because the league is just getting better and better. These guys are really skilled.
But this guy has all-timeness to him. He's got that kind of bedrock character to him.
I mean, I love it. To listen at him talk, I would have never, if I'd have just never saw him, saw him, and just hear his voice, I would think he's a much older player than what he is.
Absolutely.
He sounds like an old soul.
Right. And obviously Chris is the unquestioned leader of this team,
right.
and we get that. He's the floor general and all that.
Yes.
But there's something about Devin Booker. He's a co-leader of this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're starting to look to him, especially in big moments, to say and do the right thing at the right time.
Right. But Monty Williams, I don't think, I still listen to him talk to DeAndre Ayton and listen to him talk, listen to how he talks to his players. I don't think he get enough credit.
I agree. He's pushing all the right buttons. And these aren't strategic buttons. These are psychological buttons.
Yes.
He was all up into Ayton about, I need you in the fourth quarter to take this game
He said,
on.
you're disappointed because the level of play that you expect for yourself.
That is correct.
But that's okay. It's not about, and he says it's not always about scoring now.
No, it's not. It's just about effort.
They're playing really well. Milwaukee's going to have to be on their best behavior. They're going to have to be on their best behavior.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.